The simple solo, a cheap but strong base for solos that want to focus on the action rather than farming. This base has more than 16 large boxes of storage and a raid cost of 20 rockets. It's designed to be easy to use with no complicated building techniques and has a low profile that keeps you out of sight. And with an anti-door camp airlock that provides good vision all around, there's nowhere for the grubs to hide. You can upgrade this base as you progress through the wipe, and it has a small footprint which keeps the costs of running it low. The cost to build the starter is shown here, with a minimal upkeep, and the cost of the total base is this, with this upkeep. Let's build out the base together. We start with a square and a triangle foundation, then we put our TC on the triangle, making sure that we can place walls around it if need be. Then we lock the TC and seal the base with a wooden door. Now we can safely put down a furnace, some boxes and a sleeping bag. At this point we can safely cook metal in the furnace so that we can finish off our starter with 2 metal single doors. To do that, we add walls and door frames here. Then place the doors facing inwards so that when they're open, they act as an airlock. Once we get enough metal, we can replace our wooden door with a metal one. And make sure to place it facing outwards, so it also acts as an airlock. Now that we've got the starter finished, we can move all of our items into the second room. This will leave us more space for storage in the future. To maximize loot storage, we're going to add a shelf to the loot room by adding a twig half wall and then building a shelf on top of it, destroying the twig half wall and then placing down a window frame and keeping it twig so that we can make sure all our boxes fit. When we're ready to add the storage, we can start by removing the double door and placing items down like this. We can fit a barbecue in as long as it's facing the first box, and put a small storage box underneath, and then 3 more boxes on the bottom floor like this. We should still be able to place the door back on, which makes it easy to upgrade later on, and then once we're ready to add our second level of storage, we can take it off again. The storage on the second level will be the exact same, except instead of a small box at the front, we'll put a barbecue instead. Now we've got our loot room finished, we can make more use of the second room, placing our furnaces here. And a workbench here. If we need to do research or repair anything, we can place our extra workbenches down like this in the airlock. And when we're ready to upgrade to a tier 2, we just pick up our tier 1 workbench, place it down like this with an extra box underneath, and now we have everything we need in our starter. At this point we have a 4 rocket starter base that should get us through the start of the wipe and be able to store everything we need. When we're ready to build out the honeycomb, we can start with some triangles like this. Add 3 window frames and 2 door frames, and put glass windows in the window frames. We can make the same airlock here with our 2 single doors, and seal off the roof except for this triangle. We can also add a double door here, which acts as an extra airlock. So we have one airlock here and another one here, as well as our 2 airlocks in the core. This gives us great vision when we're trying to leave the base to make sure we're not getting door camped. And now we can finish the rest of the honeycombing. We want to go around to every external wall and add honeycombing like this. The last bit of honeycombing is on the roof. To get to that, we'll need to build a twig jump up, so we can start with a foundation and add a half wall. And then use half walls to seal off the top of the base. Then, as we jump down, just break our jump up, and our honeycomb is done. This gives us an 8 rocket base and hides any upgrades to the core. We've left space in the honeycombing for storage, but we need a way to get up there. We can use a siren light if we find one or research one. It's cheap and only costs metal. We can use a ladder, and we can place it by looking down, then alt looking up to make sure it's at the right height. They can be a little fiddly sometimes. And later on we can upgrade it to a ladder hatch, as that's the easiest way to get up and down. We can add a little bit of honeycombing here and use some twig half walls so that we can place our boxes properly. We should be able to fit 3 large boxes in each side and 2 small boxes. We can also add a repair bench here with a couple of small boxes underneath it. And a barbecue and a small box here so that we have a light source. We can place items in the core depending on what you need. And if you need permanent access to the research bench, we can put it here in the airlock like this with a drop box underneath it. Now let's upgrade the base to metal. This will take us from 8 rockets to 12. To start, we can hatchet out the twig window frame and then upgrade the foundation under the TC. Once we place the window frame and upgrade it, we won't be able to access that foundation, so it's best to upgrade it to high quality. We can make the rest sheet metal like this. And don't forget to go upstairs and upgrade the ceilings. Once all that's done, we can place the window frame. We only need to upgrade it to stone, and we can place a glass window in it. We can pick up our window to access the TC, then place it back down and repair it whenever we're going offline. Then we can replace our boxes. We still need to replace the door, so replacing the metal door with the garage door. We can unlock it, pick it up, place down our garage door, and then lock that too. Once we have enough resources to armor the base, we can pick up a few boxes and upgrade all the walls. The ones behind the TC will be hard to get to, but you can get to them. And not forgetting to do the ceilings. We can can also upgrade the window to be reinforced and place all of our items back down. Now we need to replace the garage door. We might need to move some items to get to it. But we should be able to just place our new door on there and lock it. Then we can upgrade the rest of the core. So these walls will need to be sheet metal. And we can leave the rest stone, as well as the door frames. Then we just replace the single doors with armored doors. Now we have an armor base that's 20 rockets to raid from all angles. This has been the simple solo base. Let me know what you think, and I wish you good luck on the next wipe.